Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about a lot of stocks. A lot of plays when I'm just ripping face today. A lot of plays when vertical. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Stock Catcher. I share trade ideas every day live on Twitter, Stock Twits. And I make daily YouTube videos just trying to help people. And I appreciate if you like the video and comment. So today I'm going to be talking about GNS, TMC, HCTI, and many more stocks. And also potential swing trade ideas, because a lot of people that watch my videos, they tend to really like the swing trade ideas. So I'm going to be talking about that as well. So HCTI, this one, I mentioned it yesterday's video, very clearly the level that I was looking at, which was 3 cents. And I said this even on my posts and in my previous videos. If you check, I made many videos on HCTI, and I said that was a really popular stock. So when a stock doesn't usually move at all, when it's just pretty much in a channel and it actually sells off, in my opinion, most people, what they tend to do psychologically, they lose their interest, or they exit the trade because they hit their stop loss, or they just don't want to be in the trade anymore, right? Because think about it, if you're in a trade that doesn't really move, then you're prone to get into a stock that's ripping face, right? And that's a valid strategy. I said in my past videos that that's something I do as well. I don't really hold bags. But the thing with HCTI is that a lot of people were thinking more macro. I think a lot of people were messaging me saying that they were swinging the trade all the way from under a penny even, which is really nice average. I started mentioning it around 2.5 cents. That was pretty much my main mention area. And I apologize if you hear some background noise, like some wind noises or car noises, because I actually ordered the background noise blocking microphone. It was supposed to come a couple days ago, but it didn't come. It came late, so it's going to come maybe in like 2 days, but that's going to get taken care of. So yeah, a lot of people, when they see a stock not moving at all, they tend to get either bored or they tend to get kind of scared, right? So they're going to exit the position. And in my opinion, when a stock makes a big move up and a lot of people exit the trade, after that makes the biggest moves up. I've seen it throughout history. I've been doing stock many years, and I don't know if you guys can relate, but whenever you see a stock or you're in a stock, right, and you're losing on it, and then you hold it for several days, and then as soon as you get out, you see a massive move up, right? If you know what I'm talking about, like the video and let me know experience, because that happened to me so many times in the past, and this is a real thing. It's like liquidity. And HCTI, this stock, as soon as it went to the 3 cent, I'm almost pretty sure that there's a lot of people that broke even on the stock just based on psychology, and then it just ended up ripping over 100%. So looking at it right now, HCTI is trying to set up that multi-day run. If you know my videos, you know I talk about multi-day runs a lot. And this stock, I mentioned in yesterday's video, I said it had a massive historical volume. I said it had like 500 million volume, right? That's a really, really big amount of volume. And now today, as I'm recording the video, it's at like 3 billion volume almost. As of this time, probably by the time this video gets published, it's gonna be over 3 billion. That's like historical. And I'm not trying to gas it up, or I'm not trying to make it seem like it's a lot when it's not, but it really is. Like if you trade a couple years small cap, you don't see stock to do 3 billion volume. That's crazy. And when I'm talking about stock in general, it doesn't matter small cap, large cap, volume is the number one thing. I said almost every video, volume is number one thing when it comes to price action. If there's no huge volume, you're not going to see these big moves up, right? So HCTI, this one, if you do plan on holding for a multi, I'm not suggesting that, because I mentioned this trade idea a long time when it was like around 2.5 cents. Right now it ran over 100% today, 220%. But if you were to look at it from a longer perspective, that 5 cent is key, the psychological, the interval. I said in my many videos, 5 cent, every 5 cent is key in terms of the pivots, right? The side pivots. So that would be the area to watch. I saw earlier, and it was actually bouncing really hard off of that 5 level over VWAP as well. So this stock is going to be really interesting, especially considering lately you saw these micro penny theme. Remember WLGS? I mentioned that stock a few days ago. I think it was like 2-3 days ago, and then ended up just ripping face like 200%. And I also saw many other stocks that were micro pennies under 20 cent, 25 cent, just ripping this whole week. And you could check the posts I made as well. There was a lot of them. And I think that will be a theme going forward, because if you see moves like this where stock is 3 billion volume, you see moves like WLGS where it just has massive amount of hype, 200% just gapper. And you see other stocks that people are talking about. Like I know some people are talking about NCNA, some people are talking about GIBO, some people are talking about OST. I get many messages, and I appreciate you guys. If you have any stocks you're interested in, just message me or reply DM. I like all stocks. Like I don't really care what the setup is. I'll look at it. and I'll most likely mention it, because I'm always mainly bullish on a stock, and I could find the technical patterns, right? The technical setup, or I could find a catalyst or a reason, right? A fundamental reason. So HCTI was just massive. Today was just massive win. Next trade, CYCC. This one I mentioned it, that it was a multi-day setup, right? And then today it just had a massive candle. This stock ran over $20 a share in just a short period of time. And this is not the first time you see movements like this. Well, remember I talked about SBET. That stock went from like $15 to $120 or something like that, right? Remember that stock in pre-market? Same situation with CYCC. These are multi-day setup. You can check the chart setups and the continuation, where I talk about this every day. Multi-day setup. After stock makes a big move up, it consolidate, and then the next days is just gaps higher past the previous resistance, or just gaps with huge volume. So you see this every single day, guys. I'm not saying I'll say every single day. And you want to keep an eye out for these setups. I mentioned many trade ideas as well. So CYCC, this one was, I believe, a micro floater as well. The float is really important as well when it comes to trading these high volatile stocks, because low float usually ends up making really nice moves. So the next one, LIDR. Speaking about low float, I believe this was low float, right? LIDR, this one I mentioned it right at the beginning. It was around 140, and then it just ripped face. It went parabolic all the way up to almost $5 a share. That's a 238% gain. And the reason I like this stock, I say every video, volume is number one. Volume, it had a big amount of volume. And then when you see volume breaking over those key levels, remember the levels I keep talking about, the psychological levels, combined with volume, and on top of that, there's catalyst, then, most of the time, not 100%, but most of the time, you're going to see a massive rip. And if you check the news this stock had, it's actually played perfectly what I've been talking about in my videos. If you watch my videos in the past, remember I talked about how the headline is very important when it comes to small cap. If you read the headline, what do you notice about the headline for LIDR? This one at NVIDIA. NVIDIA, if you know, it's a huge company. It's a large cap, right? NVIDIA. And it doesn't really matter what the PR is. If there's a high amount of volume and the small cap has connection, like a reference to Tesla, NVIDIA, Apple, Google, you really want to keep an eye out for this, guys. Maybe right now it's important, because I've seen in the past as well, these stocks, small cap, mention Amazon, or they have connection to, let's say, Uber. It just blows up. And again, it's not 100% time, but it's like it happens really often. So LIDR, this one was my favorite, one of my top 3 play today. It was really nice, really clean action as well. If you look at LIDR, there's just really no choppiness at all. Look at the stock. Every single time it goes up, it just keeps going up. There was no sort of like huge knife. There was no sort of like pattern where you get faked out, in my opinion. It was just clean uptrend. It was just constantly going up, grinding higher with higher volume on the tape. So this was a really good trade. If you took the trade idea, LIDR. And some people might be curious, what is perking, man? I said that a lot in my videos. That just means basically like it's starting to move, right? So thing about my trade ideas is that I find the stocks a lot of time early. Like I find them right when they're beginning to move, and that's the best time. That's when I say perking, right? If you're more confused, write down the comments, guys. I will reply to you, and I'm gonna read all the comments. So if you have any questions. So next one, LHAI. This one I mentioned it, that was halting up. If you watch my previous videos, you know that that's one of my top 10 strategies in trading, where it's called the halt strategy, where if you see a stock halt up, most of the time, I'd say like 80% time it's gonna halt up again. But again, you have to look at the level 2. You can't just because the stock halts up doesn't mean that it's bullish, because sometimes this will happen. The stock halts up and then immediately halt down. And this happens a lot, actually. So you really want to see, is there enough buyers present? You really want to see the spread. And again, everything I say in my video is not financial advice. I'm just trying to help using my opinions with my experience, right? So you really want to see level 2. When the stock halts up, pay really close attention to what price it halted. Look, you can maybe chart it out. And as well, you have to look at the volume, guys. You have to look if there's going to be continuation, high amount of bid, like, volume. And if there's no volume, it's going to, obviously, like, people are going to sell. or it's gonna hold down, right? So LHAI, this was a really nice trade for the people that took it. I actually had a few people tag me this stock. Shout out to you if you tagged me. I was actually, at that time, I think I was eating lunch or something. Yeah, but that was a really good opportunity. LHAI, I mentioned, from the price I mentioned, that was still really early. That was over a $10 a share move. That's a huge gain, guys. So I'm happy if you banked on this one. I had someone say on stock to they got stopped out, and they said that they had a trailing stop or something like that, and they took a loss on this trade. But then he said that if he held it, it would have been a nice winner, big winner. So that's the thing I want to just say about real quick, because the thing with halt is that's really tricky. It's really tricky when you're trying to play with these orders, right? You know, those stops. And I said in the extended hours, there's no stop losses as well. And when it comes to stop losses, it really comes down to your preference. There's many traders who are making a really bank without using stop. I mean, like hard stops, right? They use mental, or they use their own trading plan. And there's people that use hard stops, and they're doing really well as well. So it really comes down to your preference. In my opinion, me personally, I like both. I'm just being completely honest. So you really want to trade according to your preference, right? So next one, IXHL. This one was a monster multi-day setup. A lot of people banked on this one. Probably mentioned this one very early. If you remember what I said about multi-day setup, they're the top 10, really nice strategy to trade. So this stock, what you want to see, in my opinion, if you're still looking for continuation, is you want to see those pivot, those psychological, those 150 area to hold. And this is a bio, right? I believe bio or healthcare stock. So the thing with these stocks is that a lot of bears, they anticipate offerings, or they anticipate dilution, right? The shelves. And I said it was just like 2 days ago, I talked about that psychology, right? So what happens if you don't see that? What happens if there's no offering? What happens if you just keep grinding every day? It goes up higher. The bears are trapped, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing, in my opinion, like a big short squeeze happening, as well as not just bears in the aspect of it going up, but also the fact that bulls are also buying it for the range breakout, right? The momentum. So it's like a nice combination. It's not just bears that's causing the move higher, in my opinion, right? It's also the bull element as well. So I'm telling you guys, if you have any multi-day setup, tag me or just keep an eye on them. They're a really nice way to make profit, right? In my opinion. So I mentioned on StockTwit that there's, in my opinion, the next couple of trades, nice swing trades are going to be bio or healthcare, in my opinion. So free website I use is Finviz.com. I use Finviz. I use it every day, guys. I'm not lying. I use it every day. I open it up. It's really good resource. And I'm not sponsored. I'm just trying to help people, right? So Finviz.com, you could categorize what type of stocks you like to trade. Literally, you could just pick and choose. And I mention a lot of stocks in my videos and my posts from Finviz as well. I'm not even kidding. So if you look at this picture right now, I basically set it up where you put biotech as a sector, and then you could also adjust. You could adjust the price range. If you like trading cheaper stocks, you could put it under $10 or $20. And you could play around with it. I'm telling you guys, this is a very nice resource. And you really want to keep an eye on bio and healthcare stocks. You saw stocks like IXHL, HCTI, PSTV just ripping face. I'm going to be talking about PSTV later. So yeah, Finviz.com. And it's not just about the day trade as well. You can also look up longer term trades as well, like weekly, swing trades. It's really nice. You can pull up the charts as well. So let's talk about PSTV. This one I mentioned many times. I think it's around like starting 40 cents, I think. And then just kept on grinding higher. So the thing with this stock, I said in the past, this is a thicker stock. And I think bears are trapped in this one again, in my opinion. So just looking at the price action alone, it is really tricky for them. And if this continues, I think this could hit one. Like I said, what was it, like 1 week ago I said that? And it's right now as I'm recording this, it's over 70. It's like, yeah, 70 cents right now. So I'm not saying there's a guarantee, but based on how it's moving, this is a really trappy situation for the bears. And this stock actually had news, I think, yesterday. So it's not just a random pop. This actually has a catalyst. That means that there's a reason for something to be up. And that's when it starts to get really trappy for bears, because if you see a stock going up without news, let's say, and then you short, and then what happens if news drop? the continuation. Then they get even more trap, and then they add, and then it goes higher, breaks the resistance, and then it goes multi-day. That's why you see these, like, you know, these big moves. So PSTV, really, really nice one. Next one, possibly this could be multi-day XF4. This one X4, I mentioned it on stock trade, right? This was like towards the closing time. I was looking at it, and this has the criteria. It's a bio, I believe, right? Bio. It's forming that nice volume type of hold, and this is one you want to watch maybe tomorrow or the following days. This could run multi-day, definitely, but again, you have to watch the chart, and it's not 100%. I don't want to say, you know, this guarantee, but this does look like it, so I'm just mentioning it. So next one, BBAI. This one I said many times as well in my previous videos. This is an AI name, and it's running multi-day. It's a really nice setup, and this one I think is a lot thicker type of stock, right? So this one, if you're in the stock earlier, that'll be great, but I think if you're not, this stock probably gonna chop around. But the daily chart looks really nice. It's like an A setup, so this definitely could continue towards that $10 area that people are targeting, right, in my opinion. So next one, TMC. Same situation as BBAI. This one is thicker, but again, same as BBA. This one has really good like a fundamental reason, like you know, the macro type of reason for it to go up. And again, this one, same situation. I think this could definitely go to 10, like I said, BBAI, based on how it's moving. But again, nothing's guaranteed. But this is a really nice play. I know a lot of people that watch my video, they like TMC. I know, because in the past, I asked how many people are bullish on TMC, and a lot of people, you know, were bullish on it. So next one, GNS. This one, again, really popular stock. But I want to talk about the stock in this video because this reminds me of HCTI. I'm not going to say that it's the same, because it's obviously not. You know, the price range and also the fundamental behind it. But GNS, what do you notice about the daily chart? I said in my previous video, you could play it back. I'm being serious. I said what was going to happen. I said that once that two break gonna hold, I said that bulls are mostly going to get spooked out, and there's going to be people hitting stop losses, in my opinion. And that's exactly what happened, in my opinion. If you look at the chart, it just looked like it was selling off from that area. And then as soon as it went to that level, I said the base, you could draw up your lines in the chart. And as soon as it went to that base level, which was one, you saw a massive reclaim. And this is the exact same thing that happened just twice, actually, I think, right, for the stock. And it ended up just catapulting back. And as I'm recording this video, I'm looking at it, it went all the way up to 119 or something like that, right? It went to almost 1 today. And this stock, if you look at the daily chart, this is a picture perfect the explanation what I was talking about when I say that when a stock looks like HCTI, where it doesn't really have any movement, it starts to trend down. That's when you see a type of liquidity. Like, people, in my opinion, are gonna leave, right? And I'm not saying that everybody's gonna do that, but I'm saying pretty much a good amount of people would do that, in my opinion, psychologically speaking. So if this stock tends to get higher and bears are overconfident, I'm thinking that bears are getting way too comfortable on the stock, to be honest. I'm seeing on social media, and I'm seeing, just based on my experience when it comes to these type of stock, where people say it's like like a cult. They tend to downplay it, like bears. And when you're short, you get too greedy, and then it just perks up. And then, you know, before you know it, you're underwater. So I'm just saying that this stock has a lot of catalysts coming for it, in my opinion. And I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't want to make the video too long. But if you know that I used to post about GNS since like 50 cents, and it went all the way to almost $2. And looking at it right now, just speaking from my experience, that could have been the base. So what's your thoughts on GNS, guys? I know there's a couple people out there that really think that this stock is going to go to a really much higher price. But I just want to know your opinion. Like, write down in the comments or message me, because a lot of people will benefit from it, in my opinion. And I could definitely do more like fundamental side of analysis rather than just technical, maybe in the weekend. So I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on this stock. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna keep monitoring this every day. And if you're a bear, like, I wouldn't get, you know, too, in my opinion. I mean, it could go either way, but I don't want to be like, you know, just say that it's obviously gonna go 100%. But this stock definitely, in my opinion, it would be more bullish than bearish. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, guys, I appreciate the comment, like the video. And I'm telling you guys, the audio will get better. I'm definitely getting the mic soon, the wind blocker. And let's just do well every day, guys. I'm gonna catch you guys in the morning pre-market, and have a great day, guys. Seriously, great day.